All right, guys, so that's the vocabulary. Guys, this vocabulary is exactly the definitions that are on the test. Make sure you study them. If you're at home watching the video, pause it to look through those and make sure you know each definition. I'm trying to pause it. Okay, we're going to look at this first example. All right, so Keegan's already told us that X is representing a 4. It tells me in the directions. So I changed this. Instead of saying 27 plus X, it now says 27 plus 4. And now can I work it out? Yes, what did I get, Keegan? 31. Okay, are we okay with how we got that? All right, number 10. This one's been really tricky today. So it says 10, so I'm going to write down 10, divided by Z. What's Z? 5. And then it has X, which is 4. Does that mean to write 54? No, we need 5 and 4 next to each other to keep them separate. I'm putting them in parentheses. Okay, from here, what do I need to do first? Peyton. So that's really tempting because they are right next to each other, but I want us to remember on please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's not M before D in a line. They go across. So we're going to do the one that comes first in the problem. Does multiplying or dividing come first in this problem? Dividing. So we actually need to do this division first. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. Good, I almost wrote 8 for some reason. And now I can do the 4. So now I have 2 times 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer on number 10 is 8. Really tiny because I don't know why I wrote so large. All right. So we got 31 and then 8. All right. For number 11, it says y to the second power plus z. How am I going to rewrite that problem? What should it say, Brayden?
2 to the second power plus 5.
2 to the second power plus 5. What do I need to do first on number 11? What are we going to do first here? Right? 2 to the second power, which means 2 times 2, which is 4. And 4 plus 5 gives me 9. Okay, remember, we have to show every step. Number 12. What's my new problem going to say, Carrie?
4 divided by 2 times 3.
Right, and what am I going to do first on this problem? Divide. We're going to do 4 divided by 2, and what does that give me? 2. And then times 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. All right, number 13. What's my new problem going to say on number 13? What do you think, Noah?
It's going to be the Z is 5.
Z is 5, so I'm still going to have 9. I'm still going to have my parentheses, but instead of Z, we're putting 5 minus 3 plus 7. Noah, what are we going to do first here?
You're going to distribute.
Okay, so guys, we've been practicing the distributive property. I can take that 9 and I can pass it out. Or, since this is parentheses and I can work them out, I can do the parentheses first. So if you distributed, Noah, I want you to make sure we get the same answer because we should. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work those parentheses out. So I have 9 times 5 minus 3 is 2 plus 7. Now I have 9 times 2, which is 18. Now, Noah, you ended up getting 45 minus 27, right? Yeah, which should have given you, did you get 18 there? Right. So just to double check, 45 minus 27, I want to make sure I'm saying that would be the correct thing. I borrow from the 4, that becomes 3, that's 15. 15 minus 7 is 8, 3 minus 2 is 1. So if I multiply here, 9 times 5 is 45, minus 9 times 3 is 27. 45 minus 27 would have been 18. So I would have gotten the same thing there if we had subtracted correctly. All right, I still have plus 7. And what's 18 plus 7 going to give me? 25. All right, you'll notice, guys, this is an expression. So I'm not going to have an equal sign in my work. Okay, are we okay so far? Number 14, what's my new problem going to say on number 14? What's my problem going to say on number 14? Braden?
It's going to say 5 minus
5 minus 2, and then we still have times 2. All right, what do I need to do first on this problem? What do I need to do first? RJ? 2 times 2. So now I have 5 minus 4, which is 1. Okay. Are there any questions on those working them out problems? On the test, those will be, I think it's either 4 or 5 points apiece. All right, remember you've got to show those steps because that's where some of those points are coming from. All right, on the next ones, we're looking at writing a variable. So we need to define a variable and we need to write an algebraic expression. Remember, this means define a letter and write a math problem. On the test tomorrow, if you come up and ask me, what am I supposed to do? This is all part of our vocabulary. All right, so you should know that define a variable means write a letter and tell me what it means. Write an algebraic expression means write a math problem. So for number 15, we've got to pick a letter. The way that you pick a letter is you need to figure out what information you're missing. On number 15, what information are we missing if it says 3 less than 2 times a number? What do I need to know to work this? What do I need to know on this problem? Peyton? I need to know a number. Does it tell me what number? No, this is what I need to know. I'm missing this information. So I'm going to say n, and n stands for a number. I don't know what number that is, so I'm just going to say, hey, let's let it be n. Let's write that math problem out. What math is happening here? Give me some math that's happening. Any ideas? What math is going on here? Gabrielle? Okay. So it says times, so I'm multiplying. And it says less than, so I'm subtracting. All right, let's kind of focus on the less than. We know that means minus, so I'm going to go and put a minus sign. Remember that word than. We said than is special. What does than do? It flips it around. So it moves that 3 to the back. So I'm going to put 3 in the back. What should be in the front is 2 times a number, which would be n. How would I write 2 times n? What's the best way to write 2 times n, Frank? 2n. So my expression is 2n minus 3, and my variable is that n is a number. Right, are there any questions about number 15? Number 15, Mia, was the hardest one. Number 16 says 5 hours more than George's time. What information do I need to know? What does it not tell me, Braden? I don't know what George's time is, so I'm going to put G. Remember, it has to be lowercase. G is George's time. Okay, so there's my variable. What math are we doing here? What math am I doing? What operation, RJ? I'm adding. It says more than, so I'm going to be adding. Remember that word than is important. What does than do? It flips it around. So the 5 is going to go to the back. George's time, which is G, is going to be at the front. So my answer is just G plus 5. Okay. 7 times the number of floors in the, 3. 3 times the number of floors in the building. What information am I missing? What do I need to know? What do I need to know? Haley? I have no idea how many floors are in the building. So I'm going to say F, and F is the floors in the building. Okay. My expression, what math am I doing here? What math am I doing? Jessica? Multiplication, it says times. So how would I write 3 times the 4 is in the building, which is F? How would I write 3 times F? Jakaria? I want you to look at every time we've written a number and a variable, which one always comes first? Yeah, so it's going to be 3F. Perfect. We always want that number in front. Always want that number in front. Any Star Wars fans? Star Wars, seen it before? You know the little robot R2D2? If a math person had written Star Wars, he would have been called 2R, 2D. Get it? Because we want the number in front. Okay, whatever. It's funny. All right, any other questions about these? All right, let's flip that over. My husband would never believe that I got Star Wars jokes in my class. He's always trying to get me to watch. They have like a new series, apparently, like that Disney has, and he's always like, "Let's watch it." I'm good. I've only seen, I think it's like the original ones, like 5, 6, and 7, something like that. The way they're numbered is weird to me, so I don't know. All right. Yeah, they have so many. There's so many. All right. Long time. All right, let's do number 18. So now we've changed. We're doing something different now. It says determine if they are equivalent. So you have two different things, guys. That's why you have the and in between, because they're two different problems. What does the word equivalent mean? The same, equal. So I'm wanting to know, are these equal? So really that and is meaning, are they equal? Okay? If they are, we're going to say yes, and then we're going to say what property it is. If they're not, we're going to say no, and we're going to explain why. So on number 1, x plus 0, is it equal to x? Yes? Raise your hand if you can tell me what property is that they used here. What property? Mason?
Identity of addition.
Identity of addition. All right. Number 19, we actually need to change. So we have, well, because I moved too many things. So it says 22 times 5 times 8. This should still say 22 times 5 times 8. But the parentheses should have moved down. Okay, the parentheses should have moved down. The numbers should not have moved there. That was a little bit of a typo on my part. All right, are these equivalent? Are these equal to each other? Haley? Yes. What property is that using? What property is that? The associative property of? Multiplication. Associative property of multiplication. Guys, I'll have those words written out somewhere on your test to help you, probably in like your vocabulary, so that you can look back at your vocabulary and see how to spell it. Okay? So the associative property of multiplication. All right, number 20. Number 20. N plus 3 and 3 plus n. Are these the same, Peyton?
Yes.
Yes. What property is that using? The commutative property of? Commutative property of addition.
Can a problem have more than one?
For 6th grade, no. All right, that's why I had to change number 19 because it had too much going on. But in 6th grade, we'll just have one thing happening at a time. All right, number 21 says 25 times 1 and 1. Are these equal to each other? No. What property did they try to use? What did they try to use, Chikara?
Identify multiplication.
The identity of multiplication. But the identity, and let's write that down, the identity of multiplication says 25 times 1 should equal what? That's what this says. What should 25 times 1 equal? 25. So we said no. They're trying to use the identity of multiplication, but it should say 25 times 1 equals 25. We still said what property? We just said how it would have been corrected. Remember, the other option that happens a lot is they'll use the property right, but they'll do it for like subtraction. Did any of these work for subtraction? No. Or they'll do it for division. Do these work for division? No. Alright, these next things, this is kind of the newest stuff that we've done. So what I think I want to do is I'm going to show you number 22, just as like a little refresher. And then I want you, if you haven't had the chance, to do 23 and 24. Okay? So for number 22, remember this is where we're going to draw our arrow. What operation am I doing with those arrows? I'm multiplying. Remember, guys, you have to draw the arrows. You can't just write the math. So 6 times x is 6x minus 6 times 8 is 48. Can I subtract those or do anything else? No, because 6 has an x. Remember, we can't do stuff with letters, so that's done. All right, so I'm going to pause real quick, and I want you to do 23 and 24 if you haven't already. On number 23, we're going to pass out the 5. So I'm going to pass the 5 to the 4c. 5 times 4c, what is that going to give me here? Keegan? 20c. We're going to keep that minus sign there. All right, and then Carlos, when I do 5 times 10, what's that going to give me? 50. These problems on the test are also like 4 or 5 points. I think they're 4 points. That should be hopefully some easy 4 points to get on the test. Guys, the vocabulary, it's 8 words. All of them are 3 points apiece. That's 24 points in vocabulary. We wrote down the exact definitions that are on the test. Make some flashcards.
But we have to write down the whole thing.
You will just have to write down the word, just like normal. Fill in the blank. All right, number 24. Number 24, we're going to pass that out. What do I get when I pass it out, RJ? 36. Keep going. Not plus t. Don't forget to pass the 9 over. Remember, I don't just hand a paper to a couple of people. I got to hand it to everyone. So the 9 also has to go to the t, making 9t. Okay. All right, are there any questions about those problems? Right here?
Yes.
Remember, we have to pass 5 to the 10 as well. So 5 times 10 gave me 50. Are you okay with that? All right, so Easton, this is what you missed. This is the new stuff that we did yesterday. So I'll wait until you're ready. All right, on number 25, we're needing to combine the stuff that matches. So guys, we're going to, every single time when you draw your lines, I saw some of us doing our lines, and it seemed to help a lot. My folks that were like, oh, you don't have to draw the lines, and I told you no, y'all were getting a lot of the wrong answers. So please draw your lines. When I draw my line, it's going to be the first thing. What's my first thing here? 8D, and I'm going to draw a line. What's the next thing? 4. I'm going to draw the line. What's the next thing? D, so I'm going to draw a line. All right, then I have it all separated, so I can kind of stop there. All right, are you okay so far? Easton, I just drew a line after every single thing in the problem. All right, Easton, you weren't here, so I'm going to pick on you a little bit. Not really, but I'm going to ask you some questions. What matches right now? Like, what has the same stuff? So I'm going to start with the first thing. So I have 8D. Is there anything that would match that has the same stuff involved? The D. So both of these have the letter D. So, Easton, if you have a bucket of apples, let's say you have 8 apples, and you take 1 apple away, what do you have? 7 apples, right? So if I have 8 D's and I take one of them away, What's that going to give me?
7.
7. So I'm just going to put 7 with that letter next to it, okay? All right? So we're done with these, right? Okay. All right. So Braden, what's left is it says 4. Is there anything that could go with this 4, Braden Bolgar? The 9, because those are both numbers by themselves. So this says 4, and then that says plus 9. 4 plus 9. What does that give me?
13.
13. All right, so that's the 4. That's the plus 9. What have I still not used?
Plus.
The plus sign, so we just bring that down. All right, that's the new stuff. All right, so Easton, going back to you. We like those bars. They help to separate it. On number 6, though, if I draw bars, what could they get confused with? The parentheses. So fortunately, you were here. We learned a way to get rid of the parentheses. What should I do?
Distribute.
We should distribute. So I'm going to take my 7, and I'm going to distribute it. I'm going to pass it to the 2x. And I'm going to take my 7, and I'm going to pass it to the y. What's my new problem going to say there, Mary Webb?
It's going to say 7, we multiply that?
Yep.
14x.
Keep going.
Miss Donna, who said, can you get her one copy of that?
Yes. Plus
2. Oh, plus.
So we did 7 times 2x, right? We kept our plus sign. Now I need to do 7 times y. How would I write 7 times y? Just 7y. And then it says plus 2x, so I'm going to write plus 2x. Okay, good with that so far? All right, so this is where I'm going to draw my lines again. All right, so Easton, what's the first thing I'm going to draw a line after?
14x.
14x, there's the first thing. What's the next thing?
In front of the 7y.
After the 7y. Okay? And now they're all separated. Okay, anything match here, Easton? So we're going to start with 14x. Does anything match 14x? 2x. So if those match, I can put them together. What's 14x plus 2x going to give me? 16x. They both have the same letter, so I can add them. Is there anything I can put with my 7y? No. So I'm just going to bring down plus 7y. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause again. I want you to try 27. I want you to try 27. All right. On number 27, Jalea, what should I do first? Pass out the 6. Can you tell me my new problem? What'd you get? S plus 6s plus 18. Perfect. All right, so again, I'm going to draw my lines now. So I'm going to draw my line after S, and I'm going to draw my line after 6s. Starting the problem. It starts with S. Is there anything that can combine with S, Jessica? 6s. So if I have an S and I add 6 S's, how much do I have? 7s. Those are done. Plus 18. Okay, I have one more problem I want us to look at, and there's one like this on the test, so let's make sure we pay attention. 28. If I have 5 plus 16m plus 8 minus 15m. Okay. All right, so this is a new one that we're adding on there. This is a new one that we're adding on to there. New one that we're adding on.
You have to do it now?
Okay.
Yeah, do it right now. Do it right now. So I would start by drawing your lines. Start by drawing your lines. Where's my first line going to go?
Behind the 5.
Does a gray check have a name on it?
Yeah, behind.
I think I know who it is.
Okay. Let them know that's in here. All right, so we're going to start by drawing our lines. The first line goes after 5. The next one goes after 16M. The next one goes after 8. And then they're all separated. So guys, you have to start in the order because we're not changing the problem, we're just shortening it. So we're going to start with the first one. So it says 5. Can I combine 5 with anything? Yeah, it says plus 8 is also by itself. So what's 5 plus 8 give me? 13. All right, and those are gone. Y'all see how we're doing that? Okay, then it says 16M. What can I combine 16M with, Carrie? 15M. And what am I doing with that? We're subtracting it. So guys, if I have 16 M's and I take away 15 M's, what am I left with? Brayden. M. Alright, we're left with one M, which is just the letter M by itself. Okay, so these are gone. I did minus 15M. What's left? That plus sign that we're going to write into our answer.